Good afternoon, everyone. This is our 4 p.m. webinar. Welcome. So I think we'll maybe introduce ourselves first, like usual, just while we wait for people to join us. So my name is Emily, and I'm coming to you from Milan today. I'm from the UK originally, from the middle of England, and I'm here with a colleague of mine today.
Hello, everyone. My name is Michelle. If you've been here before, you might have seen us. I'm originally from Pakistan, and I've been working in Naravilli for almost 2 years now, a year and a half. A little more than a year and a half, but less than 2 years.
Okay, yeah, it's
Yeah.
a funny time. It's kind of
Yeah,
when you still
in between.
count everything. Okay, so how are you today, Michelle? You're in the middle
Well,
of the week now.
we are in the middle of the week. I had a minor plumbing issue with my
Oh,
sink. The
mhm,
sink is where you wash your hands, right? And
mhm.
it's been seeing a fair amount of action lately, because we're washing
Yes.
our hands on repeat. And
Mhm.
I think washing our hands, or perpetually washing our hands, has led to the condition of our sink deteriorating.
Oh no.
Yeah. So we called the owner of the apartment because we rent, and he
Mhm.
was really lovely. And he called the plumber, who happens to be someone he knows. So right now, thankfully, so grateful to God, our sink is being repaired as we
Good,
speak. Yeah,
good. I think
it's
that's important.
it's very important, especially given
Mhm.
the situation,
Mhm.
and and it's even more important because I think I ate something that didn't agree with me yesterday. So today I've had a touch of food poisoning.
Mhm.
So it's been an uncomfortable day. Let's put it like that.
It sounds like an uncomfortable day. Yes.
But it's not boring, right?
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. We don't want we need things to make each day different at the
Yeah,
moment.
absolutely. So this is definitely a different day. It's been a busy day for me, which I
Mhm.
don't mind given the circumstances. So,
Yes.
and how have you been, Emily?
Yeah, much more relaxed than you, I think, today. Um, I what have I been doing? I've been listening to podcasts a lot today,
Hmm,
um, and continuing to watch films. As some of you who have seen me before know, I watch a lot of films. Yeah, just life continues as normal in this time period, if I can say normal.
right,
Um,
whatever the
very
new
very
version of
quiet.
normal is.
Mhm. Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
so you said you've been listening to
Six
podcasts.
people with us now, so please do say hello to
Hmm,
us. Maybe tell us your name, tell us what school you go to. We do like to hear from you.
absolutely. When you guys write to us, it just makes the lesson, the webinar so much better because we get to answer your questions, we get to hear what you think, and your feedback is invaluable.
Mhm. Yeah. Mhm.
So, Em, you said you've been watching,
Uh,
you've been listening to some podcasts. So, do you think you could give us some
mhm.
recommendations?
Mhm. I'm sorry, I didn't get the question there. The sound keeps coming in and out for me.
No worries. Do you have any recommendations for us?
Oh, well, anyone who has Netflix, I definitely recommend any Studio Ghibli films. For example, Spirited or Kiki's Delivery
Mm,
Service. They are really good films to watch as a family, for children. They are good for adults. So I recommend those for any.
I haven't seen many Studio Ghibli films except
Mhm.
for Spirited Away, right? Which is
Mhm.
a beautiful movie.
Yeah, I mean, we are talking about imagination today, and that film is a
Hmm.
really good example of what the imagination can do.
Absolutely. We have a student who has written to us, Simone from Palermo. He's just finished his lesson and now he is following this webinar. Fantastic.
Perfect. Okay, we like that. Okay. So in this webinar, we will talk about creativity and imagination, some different ways to talk about those, phrasal verbs and idioms, and a few idioms to talk about how you are thinking about things or how you are imagining things. Some very useful ones.
Hmm. We also have Ilaria from Genoa. Fantastic.
Hi. Okay, great. So, Michelle, do you think having an imagination is important?
Absolutely. I think it's very important to have an active imagination because it allows you to think of solutions that are outside the box.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. That's a really nice phrase to
Hmm.
think outside the box. So, what do you mean by that?
So it's a metaphor that basically means to think differently, to think from a new perspective. And it usually
Mhm.
refers to creative thinking.
Yeah, absolutely. So, if you imagine there is something that is expected that everyone thinks about, you are maybe in a different direction.
Hmm.
Hey, welcome to Eloisa from our school, Meravivi.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, so a question for everyone with us now. So, how can you use this object, a stapler,
Hmm,
except for stapling? How else could you use it?
that's a good one.
Mm-hmm. Good,
Okay,
Eloisa is fine. That's great. Uh, yeah, I
we're
think
good. We're
we are
good.
generally fine. We're good.
Good is a relative term these days, right?
Mhm. Yes, we are as good as we can be.
Yeah, as good as we can be. We're infection free. We're healthy. We're well fed. We have a roof
Mhm.
over our head. We're
Yes,
doing great.
we talk to people.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, if you are an alien, imagine an alien, someone from another place, another planet. What do you think this object for? What would they expect it to be used for?
Okay, so the first thing that comes to my mind, if I didn't know what this was and I saw it there,
Hmm.
um, staplers tend to be a little heavy, so I
Hmm.
could use it to defend myself, just throw
Hmm.
it, injure the person.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think anything can be used to defend yourself. Yeah.
Absolutely, you just have to have an open mind.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, this is a good one. So Eloisa says I can use it to stop the paper on the table. Yeah, so maybe it's a windy day and you don't want the paper to move. Absolutely. So we call this, as Michelle has just written, we you call this a paperweight. So you can absolutely use the weight.
Hmm. You could even use it as a doorstop, right?
Hmm.
So it's a little heavy, and you can use it to stop the door from slamming shut.
Hmm. Yeah.
So I like this word, the door slamming shut, to slam the door.
Hmm.
So when you slam the door, basically it means I don't know if you've heard. There's a song by Zed, "Slam the Door."
I don't know that.
I digress. Have you heard it?
I haven't. No, I'll have to listen to it.
Okay, so basically it just means to shut the door with a lot of force. But
Hmm.
sometimes it's not the wind, right? It's a very windy day, there's a lot of wind, and the door
Hmm.
slams shut. So it closes with a lot of force.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay, we both did that one. Okay. Simone has a really great idea. I love this
Uh-huh.
idea of like a fake phone to play with children. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a
definitely.
great idea.
I
Do you
love
have
that.
do you have children, Simone? Because I feel like someone with children would be like, "Oh, that's a great idea." But people
Hmm.
like you and I, who are childless, it sounds like a
Hmm.
bad thing, but who don't have children,
Hmm.
would not think of the paperweight, or would not think of the stapler as a toy.
Yeah, I think this is a good point about the imagination. You know, we use
Mm,
the imagination according to our life and the way we live our lives. Because
absolutely.
we do not need to find lots of games for children at the
Hmm.
moment, whereas other people maybe do. So they think about it more.
I've once used a stapler to hammer a nail in,
Ah,
right? Not on the wall, obviously, because you need an
hmm.
actual hammer for the wall,
Yeah.
but on a piece of cardboard, just doing a little project, and I didn't have a hammer, and I didn't want something that would be so forceful that it would tear
Hmm.
the cardboard. So I use a stapler to gently hammer the nail in.
I see. Yeah. Yeah, I think anything where you need to gently hold something in place, in position,
Mm,
maybe use a stapler, especially if you remove the staples inside.
yeah, exactly.
I think I'm I'm connected now.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So some more ideas. Some of them we talked about. We talked about the first two or three. So a
Mm-hmm.
weapon is just another word
Hmm.
for something you use to fight, something you use to defend yourself with.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a more technical word for what we described before.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of the next couple, Michelle?
Hmm. A nutcracker. I think a nutcracker is, yeah, I've never used it as a nutcracker. I don't
Hmm,
know how effective it would be.
no, no, I have never used an actual nutcracker either. Um, it's not something I imagine very quickly.
Okay, and here we have Simone's suggestion as a fake
Hmm.
telephone to play with a child, as a hammer, and to scrape eyes off your car.
Hmm.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I think also at the moment people are using household things, household items as exercise equipment,
Mm,
things to use as weights
yep.
or for balance
Mm-hmm.
or different things like that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if a stapler would be the best thing to use, but maybe if you have nothing else.
Yeah, absolutely. Necessity is the mother of invention, as they say.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
this is actually a really nice phrase in English. So we say necessity is the mother of invention.
Hmm.
So basically, what it means is that when the need for something becomes essential, you are forced to find ways of getting it. So
Hmm.
it's an old English proverb.
Yeah, it's a really nice phrase. I think we are all experiencing that at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's exciting in some ways
Hmm.
because I'm trying to look at the silver lining, and I think
Hmm.
it can be exciting and it can be interesting to, just explore new options.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
right, so with food, like I'm doing a lot of baking and things like that, and I often find myself trying to substitute one ingredient for another because you
Hmm.
can't go to the supermarket every day.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, maybe you find ways to use food or to use objects in a different way. Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah. Maybe in the comments you can tell us if you believe in this phrase as well, necessity is the mother of invention. Do you agree that you can achieve a lot of things in a different way?
Yeah, and I think a great example are the ventilators, right?
Hmm.
Which cost 25,000 and upwards. And there are people who are trying to come up with $1,000
Hmm.
ventilators across the globe, and there are people who've come up with ideas on how to use a scuba mask as a ventilator in Italy, and
Yeah.
so on and so forth. So I really
Mhm.
do believe necessity is the mother of
Yeah,
invention.
I think hospitals as well. They're using maybe
Mhm.
hotels or other buildings as hospitals at the moment, and finding ways to use the space, which is really clever.
Yeah. Hmm. Absolutely, I agree.
Okay, so now we have maybe a text about J.K. Rowling. Um, or J.K. Rowling, depending on your accent. Who, of course, very, very famously wrote the Harry Potter series.
Hmm.
Are you a fan of those books or films, Michelle?
Oh, obsessed. A fan does not describe it.
Hmm.
Um, so obviously we were kids when the books came out.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I had I had Harry Potter wrapping paper,
Wow.
and I had little figurines.
Hmm.
Um, I had I don't know how to describe this. So basically, it was a looking glass. That's what
Hmm.
they called it. But essentially, it was like a jewel with a little and you could see inside it. I don't know what those are called.
Um, no, I don't either.
You know, there was like
Um,
those little toys that have like an image inside, and you can look through them.
yes, I know exactly what you mean. Quite often you have maybe snow globes with where there is a scene and there is snow coming down in the middle of
Right.
the image.
But yeah, but this was
But
not like a snow globe because you can see the entirety of the snow globe,
hmm.
but this was more like just an image inside this little toy, which you had to look
Oh.
at, which was really cool. So I had one of those.
Hmm.
I had candy. Um, One of my tasks that I have done this quarantine season was make butter beer.
Oh wow.
So yeah,
Okay, so you are our
I
expert
am a
then.
fan.
Yeah.
How
See,
about you,
I
Em?
like them, but I don't know. I was never a big fan. I just I think I missed it when everyone was very interested in it. I missed the kind of initial rush, and then I
Right,
never properly caught up with everyone else. I never properly became into the story.
sure.
Um,
Because I
but
think
I know a lot about it, of course.
right, that's what I was gonna say. But you have read the books and you are aware of the story.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
just
My
not
sisters are big fans.
nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Um, yeah, and I went to university near where some of the scenes were shot. So I know
Ooh,
some of the locations in it.
right. And that's amazing. Okay, shall we read the text?
Yes, let's do it. Okay. So maybe I'll take it if you have noise on your end. So
No, I can read it now.
okay. Yeah, you go for it then.
Okay. Read the text and find 7 new words or phrases about imagination. Only very imaginative people can create children's books. And if you think about it, the world would be very different if J.K. Rowling had not dreamt up the world of Harry Potter. She was daydreaming on a train when she first came up with the idea of the Hogwarts Express. The first thing she did was write down all her ideas, and then she brainstormed some more. She thought of keeping the stories for her daughter, but 7 years later, Harry Potter was in bookshops all around the world.
It's a very inspirational story.
Hmm.
I think she wrote some of them in cafes or something, which is amazing. Eloisa says, I like Harry Potter and I'm trying to read the first Harry Potter book in English. Oh, amazing.
Amazing. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah, good luck. And you
Hmm.
can always have the Italian near you and use that to help you.
Right. But I think you should be able to read it without many issues because the language is relatively simple. And, if you just have a
Hmm.
dictionary next to you to cross reference any words you don't understand. But I think you
Hmm.
should be able to do it really smoothly because you're good, honey.
Hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Amazing. Okay. So, What are for people in the comments? So, what are some new words or phrases about imagination that you can find in this text? So there are probably 7.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so why don't you and I look through them, and then you guys can write in and let us know as you come across them. Okay, we may have lost Emily for a minute, but she'll be back. So read the text and find you 7 new words or phrases about imagination. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and, oh no, we've lost Emily. So I'm just going to open up the lesson. Okay, so as you can see here, the first one is create. Only very imaginative people can create. So now that we have the first one, what do you think the second one? It's about imagination. So if you had said think about, you're correct. After think about, I would say dreamt up and daydreaming. So to daydream, nice work, Eloisa. Fantastic. Imaginative people. Okay, so I wouldn't say imaginative people just because they're not about imagination. You know, the words create, think about, dreamt up, daydreaming, ideas, brainstorming refer to imagining something, right? It's the process of creation that we're talking about. Okay, Em, good to have you back.
Yes, I apologize for that, everyone.
No
Hopefully,
worries.
I'm back for the rest of it now.
Okay, so Eloisa hit a bunch of these.
Yeah,
Just a
amazing.
few. Thought of, right? The same as to think of, to think about,
Hmm.
thought of, the past tense. And that's it. Fantastic work.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we know all these words. Let's try to use them correctly.
Hmm.
Would you like to, Em?
Yeah, so maybe I will read without an answer. So for number 1,
Mhm.
we have how did you something the idea of painting the walls in different colors.
Mm.
So which verb do you think, or which answer do you think works the best here? Because these are mostly verbs, I think, in this case. We often
Yep.
use verbs to talk about the way that you imagine something.
Mm-hmm.
And if I read number 2 as well, something your favorite film, why is it so special to you? And 3, before Picasso, no one ever painting the way he did. 4, J.K. Rowling, something a world of magic. Number 5, before writing an essay, you should always something ideas. Number 6, I did not pay much attention in class and spent a lot of time something. I think we can all relate to that one, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And number 7, do not listen to John. He always something crazy theories about people. Okay, so Eloisa says brainstorm for number 1. What do you think, Michelle?
How did you brainstorm the idea of painting the walls in different colors? Okay, so I don't think brainstorm is a good fit here. It's a
Hmm.
good effort. Good
Yeah.
effort.
So
Um,
brainstorm is often when you are thinking about lots of ideas at one.
mhm, yes. So brainstorm is when you're, just like Emily said, when you're trying to come up with lots of ideas and solutions to a single problem.
Hmm.
So I believe the correct answer would be, how did you come up with the idea?
Hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Right, because there's no problem that you need to solve.
Hmm. I agree. And I mean, maybe also dream up, but I
Mm-hmm,
don't think this needs quite so much imagination because dream up is probably something that no one else has thought of before, something that's very
mm-hmm.
new. So
Yeah,
it depends how strange or unusual the idea is.
true. Okay, number two.
Hmm. So this is similar to the kind of question we ask you all the time at
Mm-hmm,
school.
we do.
Yeah. So I don't think we have an answer for this yet. So I would probably say think about for this one. Think about your favorite film very generally because you are not imagining the film, you are not creating it.
Mm-hmm.
You just have it in your mind.
Fantastic. Good work.
Hmm.
Okay, number three. Before Picasso, no one ever blank painting the way he did.
Hmm.
So, hmm,
Maybe think
I'm
about
going
tense for this one.
right, right, because we're talking about the past.
Hmm.
So I would say no one ever thought of.
Hmm.
Okay, if it was dreamt of, it would be
Hmm.
correct, right?
Yeah.
So the kind of phrasal verb, the preposition you use after it also matters, right? Because to
Hmm.
dream up and to dream of are two different things,
Hmm.
right? Because to
Yeah.
dreamt up, or to dream up, or dreamed up, whichever tense you use, is to think of a new idea or plan, especially one that is unusual, right?
Hmm.
So, whereas dream of is when you are thinking of something, right? It
Hmm.
implies a want or a need,
Yeah.
you know.
And dream up, we should also say, is when you think of something that does not exist yet,
Mm,
something completely new. So here, for example, painting is not new. Painting exists and existed when Picasso was working. He just changed the nature of it and he thought about it, he thought of it in a different way.
hmm. Okay,
Hmm.
so what do you think, Em?
I think probably created here.
Mm-hmm.
Or even yeah, I think created because of the tense. We were talking about the past tense again.
Absolutely. Okay, number five. Before writing an essay, you should always blank ideas.
Hmm.
So again, the tense is the present simple. So I'm gonna go with brainstorm
Hmm.
because you brainstorm ideas,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
You can also brainstorm in a group if
Hmm.
you have a mutual problem, a common problem, and you are trying to find a solution. You can always brainstorm in a group, but you can also brainstorm alone.
Hmm. Yeah. And of course, we should also say that the noun is the same. So you have
Hmm.
a brainstorm, or you brainstorm is the verb also. So, number 6, I did not pay much attention in class and spent a lot of time daydreaming. So you are not creating new ideas really. You are just thinking about lots of things in a very light way, in a very positive way often.
Hmm. One of my favorite daydreams, and this was usually when I was studying for an exam. I would
Hmm.
think about what I would do with all the free time I had once I finished my exam.
Yes, that's a good daydream.
Good work, fantastic. Okay, and number seven. Okay, there's only one answer, so we
Hmm.
know what it is. Do not listen to John. He always dreams up crazy theories about people.
Hmm. Yeah, so maybe they come from nowhere. There is no basis for these theories, but they come
Hmm.
completely from John's imagination. Do you
Okay, if you
dream up
have.
crazy theories?
Now that I have more time on my hands, sometimes yes,
Hmm.
but usually, no.
Hmm.
I usually don't have time to daydream, to dream up crazy theories. How about
Hmm.
you?
Yeah, not so much, but I enjoy hearing or reading about other people's crazy theories.
Right, a good conspiracy theory is always fun, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so random thought. Have you seen Tiger King?
Have I seen, sorry, my sound.
Tiger King.
I have not. I've heard so much about it.
So disturbing. So that's a conspiracy theory there.
Hmm.
Watch it and let me know what you think.
Okay.
It's
I will
trash
do
TV though, just a heads up.
that. Okay.
Okay, becoming more creative. How do you
Ooh.
brainstorm?
Yeah. So some possible ways to
Mm-hmm.
increase creativity and imagination. I think we all want that quite often. Maybe if you need to think of ideas, or if you just want to have ideas for a project of your own. So, so some examples. See if you agree with them, Eloisa. So spend time with children, to listen to music,
Mm-hmm.
read, take risks, improvise, and try something new every day. Yeah, some interesting ones here.
Which ones do you think influence you personally?
Hmm. Listening to music, definitely,
Mm-hmm.
and reading, or even watching films or TV in an active way. You know, you are not just watching the images; you are really thinking about them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I also think, looking out of the window or being outside, walking, especially in nature or somewhere where
Mm-hmm.
you feel quite safe, quite comfortable. That's quite inspiring for me. What about you?
Similar, definitely music. that always fires up the imagination, music,
Hmm.
and books. Apart from that, taking risks as well, but not really.
Hmm.
What definitely really helps, which isn't over here, is spending time with my friends.
Hmm. Yeah.
Right? Like when we go on a walk together, I
Hmm.
find that really rewarding. I feel, inspired. I feel
Yeah.
more creative, more energized. So I think
Yeah. Me
spending
too.
time with the right people as well
Hmm.
definitely contributes, can definitely contribute in increasing creativity and
Hmm.
imagination.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. Okay. So Eloisa agrees with the first one. So I like spending, remember ing with I
Mm-hmm.
like spending my time with children. Yeah. Yeah, I think children have such an amazing way of looking at the world and interacting with everything in it that it really is inspiring.
Yeah, I don't know about inspiring, but I used to
Hmm.
teach children before, and they are an absolute delight. And
Yes.
they are a mood booster. And of course, I would
Hmm.
have bad days as anyone, but once I started teaching the children, they did just so many silly and funny things that would just crack me up. And by
Hmm.
the end of the hour or the end of the day, I would end up feeling much, much better,
Yeah.
even though nothing had actually changed. But I don't know if it increases creativity and imagination, but it definitely feels really good.
Definitely, yeah. And I think maybe if you are a writer or something like that,
Mm,
then something that children say can be really interesting because they
true.
don't analyze their comments so much.
Yeah,
There is no filter in the same way. So it's always very
absolutely.
interesting to I love talking to children because they have some amazing things to say.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's move on. Oh, these are fun idioms.
Hmm. Yeah. So we want you to finish the end of these common idioms. So maybe we'll just read on the left for you.
Hmm.
So we have he has his head in, curiosity killed, think outside, my mind went, I had a light bulb and a penny for your. I
Okay,
love
so
all
we're
the
gonna go ahead.
possibilities at
Yeah.
the end of this.
So we're gonna go ahead and start filling the blanks and matching the
Mhm.
idioms. But of course, keep writing to us and let us know if you have the right answer.
Yeah.
Okay, so he had his head in the clouds.
Hmm.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, I love that one. It's
Yeah.
a very yeah. It's you know you can just really imagine someone kind of floating, being up in the sky. Um, and the opposite, you can also say someone has his feet on the ground.
Mm,
So often they go together. So maybe your head is in the clouds. Maybe you have a lot of imagination, a lot of ideas, but you are a realist, so you have your feet on the ground as well.
fantastic. Okay, next up we have. Would you like to take this one?
Yeah, so we have curiosity killed the cat. Saying so curiosity can take you to negative places. It can be dangerous as
Mm-hmm.
well.
And I think it's interesting how they talk about a cat, and they could have used
Hmm.
any other animal, but
Yeah.
cats are supposed to have 9 lives.
Hmm.
So, it's really dangerous to be curious because you can die 9 times.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It reminds me of, I don't remember what show it was, but there was a show that said, please, it said to someone, please let the cat out of the bag so I can kill it, which was mixing the two idioms together. Because to let the cat out of the bag is to tell a secret. So it's saying, so please tell me the secret so that I can show you how dangerous it was.
I think that was on BoJack Horseman.
Probably. Most of the jokes that I tell are.
Okay, next up we have think outside. We've discussed this already. Think outside the box.
Yeah, the next one, I think we all experience this with languages. I think if we're learning them, my mind went blank. I couldn't think of anything.
Okay, number 5, I had a light bulb moment, which is that eureka moment where you say, aha, right?
Mhm.
So it's called a light bulb moment. And the last one,
Yeah, a penny for your thoughts. Often maybe you ask someone that if you want to know what they're thinking about.
mhm. It's a polite and fun way to ask someone what they're thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's match the meanings. So
Mm-hmm.
we're running a bit short in time, so Em and I are just going to go through it and match the
Mm-hmm.
meanings as we go through.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
So do you want to take the first one?
sure. I'll do the first one and then we can alternate. He has bad results in school because he always has his head in the clouds. So, what would you say?
So for this one, I want to say to daydream.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, number 2, we have you shouldn't ask too many questions. Curiosity killed the cat. What do you think, Michelle?
I think it's C. Being too curious will end badly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, number 3. To solve this problem, we need to think outside the box.
Mm-hmm. So this one is a B, to think
Mhm.
differently or in an original new way.
Fantastic.
Okay. Number 4, again, maybe this happens to all of us. My mind went blank as soon as I sat down for this exam.
Okay, that's definitely F,
Mm-hmm.
where you can't think of anything to say or write.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, MacGyver had a light bulb moment and used a paperclip to unlock the door. So I would say a sudden realization or idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Well done to Eloisa as well. I know we are going ahead, but you have some great answers coming in. So the final one, of course, you look worried. A penny for your thoughts is E. What are you thinking about?
Fantastic.
It's always a question, that one. We never use it in anything except a question.
Hmm. Okay, so with that, we are at the end of
Mm-hmm.
our time. So let's wrap up. But before we go, we'd like to go through the material,
Mm-hmm.
do a quick little revision. Okay, so he had his head in the clouds, and that means that he is a daydreamer. He's daydreaming a
Mm-hmm.
lot. Curiosity killed the cat. It's dangerous to be very curious.
Mm-hmm.
Think outside the box. Try to think from differently, from a different perspective, perhaps. Would you like to do the last three?
Yeah. So my mind went blank. I couldn't think of anything at all. I had no idea. I had a light bulb moment. I had a sudden realization, a sudden idea. And
Hmm.
a penny for your thoughts, asking someone, what are you thinking about?
Fantastic. Anything else you'd like to add in?
No, I think we talked about a lot of material there. So
Hmm.
and thank you to Eloisa for your comments, and also I think Simone earlier or Ilaria earlier as well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us and contributing to
Hmm.
this class. It's so much better because of it. And have a great day.
Yeah, thank you everyone. Bye.
Bye bye.